Hi, my name is Denise. Thanks for joining. Um, so I'm new to YouTube, but today I want to talk about why I think it is important for people who have been sexually abused or are going through sexual abuse to talk about it and to not keep it to themselves. If you're going through this, or if this has happened to you and you're not ready to face it or to deal with it, or if you think this video might bring up bad memories for you that you are not comfortable dealing with yet, please do not watch. But if you're looking for some feedback and for some tips on why sharing what you've been through or getting help would be useful, then please stay tuned. I'm not by any means pretending to be a therapist or saying that my information or advice is the best, but I just want to share my experience with you and to share what I think has helped me and how I have benefited from talking about what has happened to me. So, first of all, I think it's really important to talk about sexual abuse because it is really the only way you'll be able to get help. No one can know what you're going through or what has happened to you unless you talk about it. So, if you want help, if you want it to stop happening, then it's important that you tell somebody or that you seek help. Another main thing is that perpetrators of sexual abuse and abusers really depend on their victims and survivors to keep quiet. This is how they ensure that they are protected and that they're able to continue to do these things that they want to do. And this is why, for example, abusers will go through lengths and any means available to them to keep you afraid and to ensure that you do not tell anybody, because frankly they want to protect themselves and they want to be able to do these nasty things even though they know it's not right. So they depend on you being silent, and if you keep silent, it's almost a sure way they have that they'll be able to continue to do what they're doing, and it's more likely that the abuse will continue if you do not talk about it. For me personally, I think I would not have been able to get help had I not found the courage to tell somebody what was happening to me, and had I not been able to talk about it, then no one would have known that this was happening. And so no one would have been able to do anything about it, and I would have continued to suffer in silence, and I wouldn't have been able to get help, and the abuse definitely would not have stopped. Because a lot of the time, it's unlikely that anybody will know, because my experience has been that abusers don't always look like abusers, right? They might be trustworthy fathers and trustworthy uncles and really respected members of society, and nobody will maybe think that this person is capable of doing these kinds of things unless you're able to bring some light to the situation. So it's important to talk about it and to not be afraid, because it's more likely that it will stop if you do. Another reason why I think it's important to talk about it is to bring awareness to the issue. I think, for example, even in the Caribbean, because I'm from the Caribbean, sorry, I'm Jamaican. Nobody wants to believe that this kind of thing is happening in their family. And even though we know it's happening in society and we know it has happened, we want to believe that this only happened to other people and within other families, and the people I know and love are not being affected by this one, and that the people I know and love are not capable of doing these kinds of things. So unless you are brave enough to talk about it, then your family might not suspect it. They might find it difficult to think that the perpetrator is capable of these kinds of things. And it is good to bring awareness not only within your own family, but within your community as a whole, because it's easier. The more people talk about it, the easier it becomes to talk about it, and the more likely it is that other persons who are going through this kind of situation will know where they can get help and will know that it's okay to talk about what I'm going through, because look, this person has done it and they have been able to get help, or it is now something that we are not afraid to talk about, and we don't have to whisper about it behind closed doors and sweep it underneath the carpet, as we would say in the Caribbean. But it will kind of give courage to those who are suffering in silence, so that they are more comfortable with coming out and sharing their experience and seeking help to be able to move forward. And I think the more we talk about it, the less stigma will be attached to these kinds of experience, and the more people will feel empowered to get help and to help others and to do something about the situation. So let's talk about it more. What else? I think talking about it for me personally enabled me to get the support that I needed to heal. I felt that, or now that I look back, I think that without the love and support of my family and a therapist and the police and whosoever was played a part in helping me. Without me talking about it, I would not have been able to get that support, and I would not have been in a position to begin to heal and to put my life back together, because nobody would have known, nobody would have been able to help and to offer their love and their guidance and to just support me in the ways that I needed to be able to move forward. So talking about it really put others in a position to help me, because now they know, and now they were able to try to do something about it and to help me. And it also diminishes the power that this abuse has over you, because you are able to, for me, it was no longer just something I had to keep inside of me and something I had to be ashamed of and something I had to hide, but I could look at it honestly. I could analyze it, whether through discussions or therapy or whatever, but I could for the first time begin to examine what has happened to me, to understand it better, to look at the impact it has had on my life, how it has affected me, and now I could begin to look at how I could move forward, what I needed to move forward and to heal. So it really helped to bring some light to the situation for me and to help me to better understand it. I also think that it was important for me to talk about it, to understand the impact that this had on myself, and I felt I have been able to encourage others to talk about it. I've been able to share my experience and offer help in ways that I can. And talking about it has certainly empowered me. It really has made me feel proud of myself for standing up for my rights, for seeking help, for doing everything I could to bring this person to justice, for believing that I was worth fighting for and that I could do something to protect myself and that I was not just going to forever be a victim as this person wanted me to be. But listen, buddy, this is not going to happen anymore, because I'm not going to be the scared little girl that you made me to believe that I am. But I can do something about it. I can stand up to you, and I'm not going to allow you to hurt me anymore. So I think that talking about what has happened to you and what you're going through is the first step towards a solution to the problem. And you might not be ready to go to the police. You might not be ready to tell everybody your business. I'm not saying to tell everybody your business, or any of that. But for me, the first step in even talking about it was not telling anyone. I mean, I got to that point, but first it just started with me being able to admit it to myself, to talk to myself about it. Then I was able to write about it in my journal, what has happened. And writing about it led me to be able to take it a step further. So you can take baby steps, you can do what you're comfortable doing, but I just want you to know that you don't have to do this alone. You are able to talk about it, you're able to get help, and you're able to heal. It does not have to be something that destroys your life, that you suffer with in silence and private for the rest of your life, but you can be happy and you can put your life back together. So it starts with just talking. And as I said, just to recap, there's so many benefits from talking about it. You're bringing awareness to the situation. You're taking back your power so that, it's less likely that the abuse will happen, because your abuser is depending on you to keep silent so that he can continue, or she can continue to do what they're doing, right? And when you talk about it, you're more likely to get help to deal with the situation. The less stigma we will have in society and within our families and communities when we're able to discuss these kinds of things openly, and when we're able to offer support and love to our community members and to our family members who are affected by these kinds of things. So thanks for listening, and give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and stay tuned. I will be posting from time to time. So yeah, thanks and all the best.